Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And we're in week 11 of our handmade 12 weeks of Christmas. And this week is all about last minute cards. We always have cards that we have to do. And I'm taking one stamp set, so Vintage Christmas. It's on page 63 of the autumn winter catalogue and it is only £15. Lovely stamp set, 9 different images, lots to do with it. So I thought that we would make a really pretty card with it and show you 3 different ways this week that you can use this one stamp set to make last minute cards. So I thought this one we would use, because it's called Vintage Christmas, we'd use some craft card. So this is going to do a 5, I think 5.5, 5.25 card. So cut your mat. I've cut my mat at about 1/2 inch on there because I wanted a slightly bigger border on it, because we're going to do a bit of distressing and stuff on it. So what I wanted to do to start off with was to just take, and I've got a bit of scrap paper here, and we are going to just work on creating the background on this, but we want it quite sort of distressed and vintage looking. So to start off with, I'm going to use, I've got crumb cake here, and I'm just going to use a blending brush, and I'm just going to take it through in on the sides here to give a nice bit of distress to it. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect on here. I'm literally just very quickly just blending all of this round in here, so it'll give that vintage look on here. And I'm just going to take a bit in on the center as well, because I want it to come through with that vintage look. And as I say, it's coming through quite blobby, but that's what I want. I want that sort of, as I say, vintage look to it. You could even tear the paper if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to have it just coming in quite nicely. So just add a little bit more on here, and it just turns that white paper into something very different. Okay, so the next bit that we're going to do, because we're building up a background with this, so we're going to take on here the let's take the foliage stamp that we were using before. So I need some foliage coming through. I also want this circular Merry Christmas. Where's that gone? Here it is. It's underneath here, isn't it? I want some of that round on here. So we'll have some of that. And I think that's what we'll start with. Excuse me. So I've got some crumb cake, and I'm going to put this little Merry Christmas in on here, or Happy Holidays, and we are literally just going to take it round in on here, some off, some on, making sure it comes off the paper. Some fainter and some brighter, so that's in on our crumb cake. Then we are going to take, I'm just going to put that off on the side, we're going to take the leaf image, and this time I'm going to use soft suede. So we're doing all sorts of vintage type colours, and this again I'm just going to dot it about taking some of it over all sorts of different directions. Like that. And then I'm going to take, as I say, we're building up this background. What one haven't I used? Oh, the flowers, yes. So we're now going to take these floral images, which I quite like. And again, we're going to take this out of here. And we're going to put these ones in the soft suede as well, because I want those to come quite dark. So let's just put those I'm just dotting them about over the top of everything because we don't want them to come separately. Some off so it looks as if the paper was supposed to be like that. Get one little one off on here, and we'll have a little one off on there like that. Okay, so that's given us that really nice sort of abstract background, and when we then put this onto the craft card, you can see how it's giving that really lovely vintage look. So then we need to so the next one I'm going to do is I want to do the bottles. So for this we're going to take the bottles, and have I taken the bottles out? That's a short fat one, isn't it? That's a big long one. Got some of this stuck on one side and some stuck on the other side. I think I might have the other bottle out somewhere. Yes, I have. There we go. Okay, so I need these two bottles, and I don't know whether they're going to fit in on that one. Definitely isn't, so I need to get another block out. And so let's get the next size. That size will do for that one. Oh, that's maybe a bit big. Will that one do? No, that one will. Faffing about on which size block. I must admit I've got a case with all of the blocks in, and I use them all the time. I think they are amazing, and I know that you're exactly the same because I've got quite a few people who have used them. So we're going to take a scrap of, that'll do, a scrap of white, and we are going to do the bottles. Now I want the bottles to come in quite dark, so they are going to come in with this. You can see they're really nice bottle shapes, which is good, and I'm doing 3 of them. And they're in the soft suede. As I've got space, I'm going to put am I going to put another one in? Yes, because I can use it at another time. Oh, it says me not pressing hard enough. Never mind, we can use the other side of that. So you can then there is a punch. However, it's such an easy shape that I didn't bother with the punch because I thought I can cut this out very quickly and easily, and it really doesn't take much time at all. Now obviously I've got to be careful because this was quite a juicy ink pad. I think I just recently inked it, so it takes a few seconds to dry, but it means that I can just fussy cut it out carefully. But you can see it's not a difficult shape, it really isn't. You've just got to go around the corner, round on there, round on there. So that's our long one. And then we'll do 2 of the shorter ones. Oh, can't pick it up today. I always take it off so that it's an easier amount to be able to fussy cut it in. But as I say, I think it's for me it's too easy a shape. Could actually turn it upside down and make it into a goblet, couldn't you? Turn it that way up. But it's a bottle today. I'm doing different shapes and things with it just because I'm thinking about it. So that's the second one. Third one, let's just cut that out. And then I'm just going to put this in like that. So I can turn it round. Still got a grubby finger, but that's a good thing when you're doing a vintage style card. Doesn't matter because you've already distressed it anyway. Okay, so those are our 3 bottles. So let's just put this onto here and see how it's shaping up. We want our Happy Christmas coming in at that angle. And then I want to have my bottles coming in just like this on here. So 1, 2. What did I do with my third one? Here it is. Right, other way around, because we wanted this in the middle, didn't we? So we're going to have 1, 2, 3 like this in on the bottom. So that can go in on there. And then we need to put some, so we've got the Making Spirits Bright, which I think is quite fun. So let's have the, have I still got that out? Making Spirits Bright. Okay, so what I want to do with this is, and because this is already distressed, I want to make sure that these pieces are going to be distressed as well. So let me just take a little piece like this, and I've still got my sponge. So I need to just make sure that I've distressed it. It's the crumb cake. So we need to take those colours in as well. So I can just take that up in on here. So I'm just doing it all the way across there so it'll blend in. Then I'm going to do this in the soft suede because it's darker, which is nicer. And we're going to do one, 2, 3, 4. I might even get another one on here. 5. Oof, no, it didn't quite go. Okay, so I've got 4, which is not as much as I want, but I could have one piece coming off the page. So what I'm doing with this is literally just taking them through. I don't necessarily want them to be straight. I'm just cutting them quite randomly. Bit of a round bit, and then we'll take this one in on here. So I'm just literally cutting these up and just giving them a little bit of a curve in on here, putting them down at different angles. This is the one that's got to have come off the edge of the page, which is fine because we can have one that comes off It's going to have to come down about like that. Then I can cut it off, and I've got one more. So that's 1, 2, 3. Was that 4? 4's a bit uneven, isn't it? We should only really have 3s or 5s, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so let's put these up for now. Although I do want to just add a little bit of right, let's put these in. So I want this to come in. Let's take this off of here so I can put them on. Okay, so these are just going to be stuck on like this, and again over the top because it's building up the layers. Excuse me. You always sneeze twice, don't you? Sometimes I sneeze 3 times, but this was just twice. So we're literally just putting these in at random angles. This is going to come in at the bottom, so I need to have the space in on here. Oh dear, something's just got tickled up my nose. So have I put that one? I've put on there, that one I've put on there. That can come in on the center. And I know I said I would only do 3s or 5s, but excuse me. But I'm going to take this one because I've got it. I just want it to come, it's got to come at a little bit of an angle, so we might have to cut a bit off. But I want this to come in like, let's take it to there. So I can then put it down and make sure that I've got that like that. So that comes in there. Now these bottles, I want them to be with dimensionals on them. So let's just put some dimensionals on the bottles to stick them up a bit. So let's put those on. That. Oops. Take these pieces off. Okay, so we want this one down in on the bottom here. Oops, that wasn't straight, was it? Just put that so it comes in nice and straight. Then I want the larger one in the middle. I've taken these off. No. I could put this over the top a little bit. Yeah, I think I will, just overlapping just a little bit. And then the third one is going to come in. Oops. Just down in like that. So it's overlocking. And this makes quite a good masculine card actually. So we've got that on there. Now if we wanted to make it, which I might actually do, just a little bit, you could have it just like that, or you could put, and I don't know whether I'm going to actually do it completely like that, because what you can do is to take, and I need a different one from this, but to just make it a bit sparkly for Christmas, you could take some, just a little bit of sparkle like that and just put it on there, and then that just lifts it just a tiny bit. Or you can have it just very vintage like that without any of the other pieces on there. I think it works either way. It's a very simple one, but as I say, works perfectly as a masculine card, making spirits bright. You know, you don't need too many flowers on there. We've got them in the background, but as I say, a fun card. I would probably sponge around here in the darker, just right on the edges to just finish it off. But I think it adds a fun one. And again, just using this stamp set. So, you know, we've done a very vintage card with Vintage Christmas. So I hope you enjoyed it. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.